Hey everyone, welcome to another flow with me. So for this week, I'm doing a focus pose that might be a little bit adventurous, but remember this is just about playtime. Focus pose of this week is going to be bound airplane, also known as toppling tree. The Sanskrit for it is Virabhadrasana. So with this pose, we're going to be interlacing hands behind the back, and then your back leg, your leg that's lifting, is going to come up in line with your torso as you keep bending towards the ground. So you'll see in the demo that I do, you can take this as regular bound airplane, just having your body in one straight line with your standing leg supporting you, or you could come into full toppling tree and go from here to here, your head being down here and your leg being up here. It's totally up to you. As I said, it's play. So have fun. Yoga is not supposed to be this super serious thing. It's not supposed to be something that you just get totally in your head, or worse, let ego come in. Ego has no place on your yoga mat. So this is just for you to relax, to strength build, to restore, and hopefully most of all to have some fun and maybe play a little. So take what you need. This Vinyasa Flow is set up that you can take as much or as little as you want. It just depends on what you're looking for. As always, if you have any questions at all, or you just have any comments or anything you want to just mention to me, I'm ridiculously easy to get a hold of. Just let me know. Have fun.
All right, so focus pose, Baddha. To start, bring your left foot in front and your right foot behind you, almost like crescent lunge legs. So your left knee will be bent and then you'll be on the toes of your right foot, so the ball of your right foot. Interlace your hands behind your back. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine down your back. Exhale, toppling tree. Lift your right toes up. Your right foot will be in line with your right thigh, and then your torso is parallel to the ground. So you can stay here in bound airplane, or start to stretch your hands towards your lifted foot as your back right foot lifts, and then you're stretching your nose down towards your mat like you're trying to sniff some flowers. Eventually, you can release your bind and then bring your hands down to the mat, coming into standing splits, and then forward fold. I'm going to show this on the other side, just switching out my legs. My right foot is in front, my right knee bent, and I'm on the ball of my left foot. My hands are interlaced behind my back. Lengthen your bind down your back on your inhale. Exhale, let your right foot come up in line with your right hip. Bound airplane is right here if your torso is parallel with the ground and your leg is in one straight line. Maybe you start to stretch your hands towards your tailbone. Maybe you start lifting your left foot up and back as you start to let your face come down towards the ground. Again, let your hands stop you if you would like to play with this, practice, and then come to forward fold. A really great thing, if you've got blocks like I'm demoing, blocks are a great way to help you really get into not only airplane, but also Dakasana. You can start with a lower setting to really help you almost like kind of practice your nosedive. I like to stack my blocks one on top of the other at their tallest setting, so that way I can at least practice my airplane, trying to make sure that my hips are in alignment, that one hip isn't higher than the other. So definitely use what you need and just practice with it. Let's get started. Go ahead and come to child's pose. Balasana, bring your big toes to touch, knees wide, and then stretch your hips towards your heels as you stretch your hands towards the top of the mat. And just breathe. Just take what you need here. Maybe if you need a little bit more lower back release, bring your knees a little bit closer together to help release here. Don't worry about if your hips are not touching your heels just yet. Just let your breath gently help you release. If you would like, you can always bring a block underneath your forehead just to help you reset and come into your flow. On your next inhale, come to tabletop. Your shoulders will be over your wrists and your hips are over your knees. On your next inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly, let your tailbone and gaze come high. Breathe here. As you breathe, draw your shoulders onto your back, almost like you're trying to smile your chest open. On your next exhale, cat pose. Breathe here as you press into your hands, press down through your shins, really curve through your back and let your shoulder blades stretch apart. Doing this breath to movement now. Inhale, drop your belly for cow. Exhale for cat, push the floor away. Couple more rounds of this at your own pace. This is really going to be great to help open up and warm up your spinal column, to really help you start to bring some integral heat to your body, to your inner self. On your next inhale, once you've evened yourself out, come to a neutral tabletop. And then on your next exhale, you're going to come to supported side plank. Your right knee is going to stay grounded, as is your right hand. Your left hand reaches up to the ground, and then your left foot comes to the back of your mat. Maybe your left foot stays grounded, or maybe you reach for the outside of your left foot, coming into a balancing quad stretch. Gently press your foot into your hand and then gently pull your hand against your foot just to help open up in your chest, open up in your quads. Gently release, coming back to supported side plank. Exhale, tabletop. Coming to the other side now. On your next exhale, supported side plank. Your left hand and left knee will be grounded into the mat. Your right knee is reaching up and your right foot is towards the back of your mat. Option to stay here or reach the outside of your right foot to come into a balancing quad stretch. Again, just feel this out. If you're not feeling very open yet and you don't want to really push it, don't push it. Just let yourself come into this easily and organically. The openness will come. On your next exhale, release, coming to supported side plank first and then back to tabletop. Take any movements that you need to even out, any cat, any cow. On your next inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take some deep bends in your knees, one knee and then the other, alternating. Maybe on your next inhale, bend your knees both, and then exhale, straighten your legs just to help really warm up your hamstrings a little bit. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, start taking teeny tiny steps to bring your feet behind your hands for ragdoll. Bend your knees as much as you can. Bring your torso to rest on your thighs. Maybe your hands trail on your mat. Maybe you grab for your elbows. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Just let your neck completely release here. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring your feet a little bit closer together. Exhale, stay in this fold. Inhale slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last to rise. Rise all the way to Samastiti, hands at heart center. Eyes opened or closed. Just take a round of breath and just let this gentle heat warm you up before we get into the rest of the flow. From here, on your next inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Reach your arms up high. As you breathe here, see if you can slightly tuck your tailbone to engage your back line, but then really squeeze your quads up, your knees up towards your face to engage your front line. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Spiral your pinkies in towards each other. Open up through your back line. One more inhale. Exhale, baby back bend, Navasana. Go ahead and bring your shoulder blades to touch on your back as you bend or cactus through your elbows. You can try to bring your hips a little bit forward, but really just focus on the back bend here. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale, chair plane. Bend through your knees like you're coming into chair, but your arms are swept back. Face your palms towards each other like you're trying to squeeze a huge medicine ball behind you and keeping it lifted. Keep your gaze lifted as well. Tuck your tailbone under. Inhale, reach your arms up for chair pose, Utkatasana. Option to bring your hands to heart center if you want to give them a little bit of a break. One more inhale here. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Go ahead and release your hands down to the ground. And breathe. Option to take a little bend into one knee and then the other just to help your hamstrings open up a bit. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, step back to high plank, top of a push-up. Breathe here. Exhale, Go ahead and come into supported side plank. Your left knee comes down, left hand comes down, right hand reaches up. Maybe your right leg floats for a floating supported side plank. On your next inhale, come back to high plank, top of a push-up. Exhale, supported side plank, open to the left side. Your right hand is down, your right knee is down, left hand is reaching up. Maybe your left leg reaches up as well. Whatever you need, you can take what feels right on each side. Inhale, back to high plank, top of a push-up. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, pull your hands back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. Go ahead and take a round of breath to reset here. Breath to movement now. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, rise up. Exhale, back bend, goalpost or cactus your arms. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, chair plane, sink your hips down and back. Inhale, chair, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, top of a push-up, high plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, supported side plank to the right. Inhale, back to high plank. Exhale, supported side plank to the left. Inhale, back to high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low plank. You can always choose to skip this. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog is where we meet. Take a round of breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more time through with this breath to movement flow, just to keep getting warm. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, chair plane, sweep your arms back. Inhale, chair pose, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank, top of a push-up. Inhale here. Exhale, supported side plank to the right. Always the option to take full side plank. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, supported side plank to the left. Inhale, back to high plank, top of a push-up. Exhale, high to low plank, chaturanga. Always the option to skip and hold just like I am. We'll meet in downward facing dog when you've completed your chaturanga or non-chaturanga. Take a round of breath just to reset here. All right, coming to Sun B now, Surya Namaskar B. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up high to the sky. Really dial your right toes to point down towards the ground, right hip in line with your left. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your right foot a little closer to your right hand. Set up here. On your next inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. If you didn't widen your base, now would be the time to do so. That will give you more stability. Use your hands if you like also to help you face your hip points forward and help draw your tailbone down. You'll really feel this opening up in your left hip flexor, so option to bend your left knee and then re-straighten your left leg. Inhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Lengthen your spine down your back. Exhale, toppling tree, just like we did in the demo. Option to just take bound airplane here as well. You don't have to go all the way down. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, tap your toes back down. Go ahead and release your grip, coming into crescent lunge with airplane arms. Inhale, warrior two, spin your back foot flat, open up your arms to 3 and 9 o'clock. Bending in your right knee, look down at your right knee, make sure it's in line with your right middle toes. On your next exhale, extended side angle, Utthita Parsvakonasana. Bring your right forearm to your right inner thigh, or you can bring your right arm to the inside of your right leg. Really open up your chest to the left side of your mat. See if you can dial your hip to face more towards the sky. On your next inhale, reverse warrior. Pull your inner thighs in towards each other here to really help you to lengthen through your right side body. Take one more inhale. Exhale, low lunge, hands to the top of your mat. Inhale, 3-limb staff. So this is going to be a one-legged plank here. Exhale, option to take high to low plank chaturanga, one-legged. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Recenter, regroup here. All right, left side now. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up high. Flex your left toes, point them down towards the ground. Keep your left hip in line with your right. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your left foot closer to your left hand. You know what's coming here. Inhale, crescent lunge on the left side, Anjaneyasana. Reach your arms up high. Again, use your hands to help draw your left hip back and your right hip forward as I'm doing. And then maybe you use your hands to help you draw your tailbone down towards the ground. You're not so much tucking it under, you're just helping it to draw under to help stretch through your right hip flexor. Inhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Exhale, draw your bind down your back. Take an inhale. Exhale, toppling tree. Go ahead and bring your right leg up, your right foot in line with your right hip, and maybe you start to stretch your face down towards the ground as you point through your right toes. Take one more inhale. Exhale, drop your toes back down to the back of your mat. Crescent lunge with airplane arms. Inhale, warrior two. Spin your back foot flat, open up to the right side of your mat. Look down at your left knee. Make sure your left knee is in line with your left middle toes. Exhale, extended side angle, Utthita Parsvakonasana on the left side. So your left forearm can come to your left inner thigh, right hand reaches up. Really take your time here to help open up your chest towards the right side of your mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stretch your left arm up and back. Press down through your left big toe to really feel that stretch on the left side of your body. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, low lunge. Inhale, 3-limb staff. Exhale, high to low plank. Option to take an Ekapada Chaturanga Dandasana or hold as I'm doing here. We'll meet in downward facing dog regardless of what you take. So this is Sun B. Now you know what's coming in breath to movement. Here we go, breath to movement now. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lengthen your bind down your back. Exhale, toppling tree, holding this for a couple breaths. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm up, right arm down. Inhale, reverse warrior, stretch your right arm up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, one-legged plank. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back. Inhale, lengthen your bind down your back. Exhale, toppling tree. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale. Go to your depth. Inhale. Exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms. Drop your back toes to the back of the mat. Inhale, warrior two. Open up. Exhale, extended side angle. Left arm down, right arm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left arm stretches up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, one-legged plank. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take that round of breath. Reset. You've just got one more round here now. You've got this. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lengthen your bind down your back. Exhale, toppling tree, holding this for a couple breaths. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm up, right arm down. Inhale, reverse warrior, stretch your right arm up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, one-legged plank. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back. Inhale, lengthen your spine down your back. Exhale, toppling tree. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale. Go to your depth. Inhale. Exhale, crescent lunge, airplane arms. Drop your back toes to the back of the mat. Inhale, warrior two, open up. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm down, right arm up. Inhale, reverse warrior, left arm stretches up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, one-legged plank. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take that round of breath. Reset. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Reach your arms up. Bring your left knee up in line with your left hip. Flex through your left toes like you're trying to put your left foot onto a step coming up. Keep your left hip down in line with your right. Breathe in. Exhale, bring your left hand out to the side and reach for the inside edge of your left foot. Take an inhale here, press down through your right foot. Exhale, dancer pose, Natarajanasana. Kick your foot back into your hand, but then pull your hand against your foot. Maybe you hinge forward. Focus on keeping your hips pointing down towards the ground, keeping your left hip in line with your right. Deep breath in. Exhale, release, come to crescent lunge with airplane arms again. Inhale, exalted warrior. Your right hand will land on the back of your left thigh and your left hand reaches high. You're twisting slightly to the right while keeping your hips facing forward. Squeeze your inner thighs in towards each other to both help you balance and twist deeper. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stretch your right arm up and back. Maybe wrap your left arm behind you for a bind. Exhale, hands to the mat, come to low lunge. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, side plank to the right. Keep your left hand down as your right hand reaches up. Maybe you float your right leg up. Maybe you come to tree pose and side plank. Take whatever you need here, but keep pressing into your left hand and arch your hips up. Big change coming up here on your next inhale. Hands down to the mat. Bring your right knee into your nose, cheetah. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your left knee down to the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, half splits. Send your hips towards your left heel. Straighten through your right foot. Take some safe hip rotations here by letting your toes come to the left and to the right, just to help open up your hamstring. On your next inhale, come back up to low lunge, hands by your foot. Tuck your toes, bring your left knee up off the ground. Exhale, high plank. Take an inhale here. Exhale, high to low plank. We're coming to almost our last set of changarangas, so take what you need here, meeting in downward facing dog when you're done. All right, inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up. Bring your right knee up in line with your right hip this time for one-legged mountain on the right. Ekapada Tadasana. Flex through your right toes. Exhale, bring your right hand out to the side and then reach for the inside edge of your right foot, so the big toe edge. Your left hand stays reaching up. Take an inhale, press through your standing left foot. Exhale, dancer on the left side. Press your foot up and back against your hand as you pull your hand against your foot. Maybe you start to feel the space to hinge forward. As you hinge, make sure that your right hip is pointing down to the ground, not opening up to the side. Use the strength of your standing glute and your hamstrings. Take an inhale. Exhale, revert crescent lunge with airplane arms. Inhale, exalted warrior. Your left hand will come to the back of your right thigh as your right hand stretches up and back. Press down through your front left foot and stay up high on the ball of your back right foot. On your next exhale, warrior two, open up, spin your back foot flat to the mat. Find your foundation here. There's a lot going on. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stretch your left arm up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Hands come down to the top of your mat. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, side plank open to the left. Your right hand stays down as your left hand reaches up. Maybe your left foot floats, maybe it comes to the inside of your right thigh. Keep pressing down through your right hand to help your hips arch like a rainbow. Keep anchored through your right foot. On your next inhale, cheetah, knee to nose. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your left foot in between your hands. Come down on your right knee. Inhale here. Exhale, half split. Sink your hips towards your heels. Same thing here. Some safe hip rotations. Slowly letting your foot fall to the left and to the right, letting your toes kind of windshield wiper here. See if you can keep your spine straight, or if you choose to curve here and just let your torso kind of sink, that's fine. Inhale, low lunge, tuck your back toes. Exhale, high plank. Take an inhale right here, and then option to take a Chaturanga Dandasana flow, or just hold high plank and come to downward facing dog as I demo. Take what you need. Gonna get a little bit more openness before coming to Shavasana. On your next exhale, come down to tabletop, and then go ahead and bring your legs out long in front of you. Roll down onto your back. We're setting up for bridge pose, so bring your feet as close to your glutes as feels comfortable for your knees. Your arms are long by your sides. On your next inhale, press down through your feet and lift up through your hip flexors into bridge. Press down through your shoulders, and maybe you draw your shoulders onto your back so much that you interlace your hands underneath you and your pinkies press down into the mat. Pretend like you're trying to draw your shins to the front of your mat. That's going to help you lift your hips up a little more. Exhale, lower down. Option to take some fallen bridge, widening your feet and letting your knees knock into the middle. Maybe even let one knee come down to the other side and then switch. Option to take another bridge again, or maybe you come into wheel. Bring your hands next to your ears. Your fingers are in line with your shoulders. Feet are close to your glutes. On your next inhale, press down through your feet and your hands to lift your chest up and your hips up into wheel. Adjust your hands if you need. Make sure you're not feeling any pinching in your wrists. And then press down through your feet and try to send your heart towards the back of the mat. So it's like you're trying to draw your chest through your arms. On your next exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and then slowly lower down. Take any wrist circles that you need to. Come into recline bound angle. The soles of your feet come to touch. Your knees are wide. Any wrist circles or any wrist stretches, maybe you bend them one way, the counter pose to wheel, and then the other way just to help open up and stimulate the blood flow. And as you're here in recline bound angle, relax. Here in recline bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana, you can stay as long as you like. If you're ready to move on, use your hands to gently draw your knees back to touch, and then bring your right foot to the top of your left thigh, coming into supine figure 4. Option to keep your left foot grounded onto the mat and to help draw your right knee towards the top right corner of your mat, or maybe your left foot lifts and you interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Again, this is all about trying to draw your right knee towards the top right corner of your mat to help you open up and stretch through your outer thigh muscles on your right side. Take deep breaths in, deep breaths out, lower your left foot to the ground, let your right foot meet it, and then go ahead and switch. Your left foot comes to the top of your right thigh. Again, trying to bring your left knee to point towards the top left corner of your mat. Always the option to lift your right foot up and interlace your hands behind your right thigh to help you open a little bit more. Remember your breath here. Keep breathing, letting yourself ease into this. You don't have to go 100% deep right away. Maybe you start at 60%. And then you go from there. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lower your right foot down and then your left foot down. Option to come right into happy baby here, Ananda Balasana. Reach for the outside or inside edges of your feet. See if you can keep your tailbone grounded. If that is not going to work while you're holding your feet, then reach for your ankles or your shins. You want to make sure that your shoulders can stay grounded onto the mat. Go ahead and take one more inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Let go. Bring your knees to reverse tabletop. Tee out your arms. Take an inhale. Exhale, easy twist over to the left. Let your knees drop to the left as you gaze over your right shoulder. Maybe you bring your right arm up and out like I am to help get a nice pec release. Breathe here, really letting this twist massage your internal organs. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. Exhale, supine twist to the right. Your knees come over to the right, but your gaze goes over your left shoulder. Maybe your left arm comes up and out. One last long breath in and out here. You are almost to the end of your practice. Inhale back to center. Exhale, ball pose. Squeeze your forehead up towards your knees. Wrap your arms around your shins. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, Shavasana, corpse pose. Rest pose. Full release pose. You earned it. Take up space as you take what you need right here, right now on your mat.
I hope you feel amazing after this. I hope you feel a little more open. Hopefully you feel like you maybe left something on the mat that you don't need to take with you in your day-to-day life. Just take your Shavasana however you want. You can take it as long as you want. Maybe you've been taking Shavasana since the first yoga part came on. Whatever you took, whatever you didn't take or did, right now is your time to restore, to let yourself come to a place of complete rest, complete soaking. Just let yourself stay long on the mat or taking your Shavasana however you wanted. Maybe you were coming into recline bound angle, bringing the soles of your feet to touch and your knees wide. Maybe you were taking bridge or supported shoulder stand. Whatever you do, let this rest actually be something that feels restful to you. The word restful is a little bit tricky for some of us, for a lot of us, because restful, it's just missing one L, but restful means you take your fullness of rest. It means restful is a word that entails you're going to be full of rest. You've had your fill of rest. But sometimes we don't take that. Sometimes we don't even take a quarter of our rest that we need. Sometimes instead of getting that 80 to 100%, we are getting 10 to 20% and saying it's enough. And sometimes that has to be enough. But then sometimes we have to take that time to get that 80 to 100% of rest. If you keep going, thinking that you can survive on 10%, 20%, 30% of rest, at some point, you're not going to have much to go on anymore. I can say that from a personal place. So you got to remember to take what you need. You got to remember that rest will only come if you really truly let it. If you truly give yourself that time to let the rest come in. So hopefully right now, even if you're tuning out my voice, you might not even be listening to this. I hope right now in this moment you are taking the rest that you need.